What's good, YouTube? I'm back. Just because we are all stuck in quarantine right now doesn't mean that we can't take this time to build up our bodies, finances, and business, and our future success and all other endeavors in this point in time. In fact, that's what I've been able to do. You'll notice I've been quiet the last couple of weeks on YouTube for the first time in years. There's a very specific reason for that. So in this video, I'm gonna dive into the 5 steps that I've been using and that you can use to conquer the quarantine. Because I don't know about you, but I'm turning this quarantine into my biggest ally. Let's get started. Framing how we look at things is always step number 1. We gotta get the mind right first, because we need to become the type of person that achieves and attracts the things that we want to achieve and attract. This all starts in the mind, so the perspective and the lens with which you look at life is going to heavily determine what you see and what you get from it. A couple tactics we can use to start fortifying our mind, because this is practice just like anything else. It doesn't happen at the flip of a switch. So a few things that I like to do is gratitude exercises, journaling, or it's called the positivity diet. Okay, so one of the biggest things for me was removing complaints from my life. I used to always complain about things. I used to always judge things. So what I started doing was avoiding complaints, avoiding being that person that drains the positivity out of situations. Instead, regardless of the situation I found myself in or anybody else around me found themselves in, I always sought to find the positive part of that, the light. There's always a bright side. One of the ways you can do that is with the positivity diet. So for 7 days, you want to try to pinpoint, find out, you can track it if you want, exactly when you complain, and it's going to force you to become more aware of those moments, and as a result, stop yourself in your tracks and think positively. This is so understated, and I don't see enough people talking about how important it is to stay positive. Every successful person you know, you see, anybody that you emulate, it's because they got themselves in that position by thinking positively at all times. Another tactic I like to use is figure out exactly who you want to be, what you want to accomplish, what is it in life that you want, or what do you want out of life, and write it down. Spend the whole few hours or a whole day mapping out exactly what you want in your life. I'm talking get specific. What's your net worth going to be? What's your body going to look like? What are you going to feel like? What's your wife or your husband going to look like? What's your family like? All of these different things. What house are you going to live in? What cars are you going to drive? Whatever it is that's important to you, get specific, determine what those are, write them down, print them off. I type mine out. I print them off and I put them somewhere where I read every single day. This goes a very long way to keep your mind sharp. That caused me to feel better, look at myself in a different light, and understand that I need to carry myself and act more like the individual I want to become. But again, you won't know that until you get specific with it and put it into practice every single day. So after you've got that mindset down, right, we want to reinforce it every day. So staying active is key, especially during these times where everybody's sedentary because they're sitting around at home, they're not going to work, they don't have access to gyms. Now is more important than ever to stay on point with your activity levels. Not only going to help the mind clear it up, it's obviously going to help the body from deteriorating like it otherwise would. You can go on walks. That's one of the first things I do, but you're probably wondering, but John, without a gym, without equipment, some of you, how do I maintain my muscle gains? And there is a way to do that, so I'm going to show you that. One of the 3 different things I do as part of my activity routine, day to day, week to week, during a time like this, is going for walks. Long walks, early morning, clears the mind. Typically this is done after my workouts, or it would be done by itself. So there's 2 other things that I do. One of them is to support all the gains and progress you made in the gym, because I am a fitness guy. So let's go back to the condo, check that out, and then I'll show you the 3rd one after that. When it comes to the workout portion, try to maintain as much muscle as possible throughout this time. If you have no equipment, all you can do is stick to some of the basics. I will show some of them here. For example, for your legs, working up to being able to do pistol squats. That's gonna get a decent amount out of your legs. And of course, push-ups, and I definitely recommend, a lot of places do have access to get things like bands or like the chin-up bar, the ab wheel that I have. So if possible, grab some equipment. I personally have actually some adjustable dumbbells that should be arriving today, which just means I can add some more exercises into overload, okay? Remember, the key is overload. What I do, similarly to when I'm working out normally in the gym, I have my app here, Gravitas. Now, you don't need this app in particular. I don't think it's on Android, but the point is, use an app that you can find in the App Store to track your reps. So if we're not tracking weight, at least we're tracking reps. So in my case, I'm doing chin-ups every workout so far because those are going to be the most effective for my back, my biceps, my shoulders. So I know that last time I did 12 chin-ups on the first set, so this time I did 13. Beat each set's reps from last time. The first few weeks now, we probably look in the mirror, we look flat. This is normal because we're not lifting as much weight as we used to. The muscle doesn't need as much glycogen storage and water in it. So it appears as though we're losing muscle, but really it's just water and glycogen depleting. And it takes typically 4 to 6 weeks to actually start losing significant muscle tissue, right? At that point, it'll be close to the end of the quarantine or at least halfway through. And so with that said, you know, we'll be back in the gym and we gain back whatever we lost real quick. So it's really just about doing something to maintain your strength, or even focus on things like mobility and flexibility like I am yoga during these times to get more flexible, to kind of undo some of the tightness that's occurred over the years of constantly weightlifting. So that is what I'm doing for the weights. Now let's go over and check out what I do for cardio. What I'm doing is going for a 5 to 6K run every other or every second or third day. Goal is minimum 3 times a week. It's gonna keep me active. It's gonna keep me maintaining while everybody else is degrading, because they get the wrong mindset. The show must go on, baby. Another thing, right? I'm tracking the progressions. I'm making sure that each time I'm doing this run or each time I'm doing the workouts, I'm doing more reps. I'm doing it faster, better pace, better split time, these types of things. Get back to it. I gotta finish up this run. See you later. So we're talking business and finances right now, and that's a huge aspect, especially during these times. It's obviously very important to not only have in place beforehand, and if unfortunately you weren't in that spot beforehand, to at least make sure you leverage these times now to get a financial plan in order, or to actually recession-proof your business. Now, I'm actually in the room, I'm actually in my old bedroom, okay? If you look back at some of the older videos on this channel, before I moved out on my own to my condo, this is actually where I slept, and I did a lot of vlogs in here, so it brings back a lot of memories. It's now turned into my mom's paint room, and like I mentioned, I was able to move out on my own. And if you want to get yourself to that position sooner rather than later, or you just want to level up your life, which is obviously possible during these times, hence why I'm bringing this video to you, as that's what I'm doing in my business and in my finances, then you need to have the right plan in place. So let's go ahead and talk about that. When it comes to a tactic of, you know, getting your finances and business in order, it's gonna come down to the same thing as fitness and what I preach all the time, which is fundamentals. Now, one of the most fundamental things, or the most fundamental things you can do, is of course tracking things. Now, the more often, more meticulous, more specifically you're tracking these things, the better off you're gonna be. By the way, this goes for both personal finance and business. So make sure you're tracking. Next fundamental is make sure that you're not spending above what you make. In fact, you should always be spending below what you make. So I really took this time to crack down on my tracking of my finances. I personally do them every single day. I split it up between personal and business, and I'm monitoring everything that goes through. I can see what's really essential in my life, pinpoint those, make sure that those stay recurring, and cut out all the fluff. Listen, I'm no business mogul myself. However, my business is thriving throughout these times, and it's not just because of the times. In fact, I think that it is maybe slightly being hindered by these times. The reason that I'm expanding and improving in my business and growing is because of those fundamentals I mentioned. I began tracking things so meticulously to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Same goes for my finances, and once you're able to do that, you can manipulate and adjust accordingly to make sure that you're living within your means, so much so that you can save money, that you can expand the business, that you see what's coming in, what's going out. Look, money isn't everything, I know that, but it is still an important piece of the puzzle. And so I think there's no better time than now to lock lock down, especially if you weren't tracking finances before, lock down your finances and see everything that's going on with them, then take the appropriate action to make sure you're set up in the future to be well off in any times like this, to make sure your family's provided for, you're safe, and that you're still moving towards your goals. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the fourth thing that I'm doing. That's something that I spoke about a lot on this channel before. Let's check it out. Next thing that we got to talk about, and keep in mind this is not in any particular order because all of these could be number one in terms of importance, so look at them all as equal importance. The next thing we're talking about is nutrition, sleep, and water intake. Okay, so the most important aspects to health. This is a time that we want to leverage to maximize these different things instead of sitting around all day not taking care of ourselves, eating terrible foods, garbage foods, and consuming mind-numbing apps. By the way, I'm also including mental health in this because all those components do contribute to that, as well as another tactic. Now, I'm actually sitting here about to have breakfast, okay? I have this power shake that I like to make all the time, some mini wheats, also another liter of water, and I'll sprinkle some lemon juice in there as well. So this is what I like to have personally in this power shake. I got some really healthy ingredients like dark chocolate, spinach, frozen strawberries, protein powder, some cold water, as well as some oats and some creatine. I also like to take my multi and my fish oil in the morning and this bowl of mini wheats because it does hold me over for long periods of time and it's got a lot of fiber, so it's really clutch there. And myself personally, I drink roughly 5 to 6 liters of water a day. When it comes to sleep, okay, and the importance of it, this is one of the most overlooked things that people don't realize. Sleep is crucial to maximize every area of your life, and so the tactic for sleep is you want to maximize it by getting 7 to 9 hours every single night. What I do is I have this Oura ring actually. This Oura ring helps me track how much sleep I'm getting, so I'm able to consistently get 8 hours of actual sleep every single night, and it has been transformative. On the water side of things, I would recommend, if you're not doing it yet, hit a minimum of 3 liters a day. So whether you have to track it or have a certain water bottle that you need to consume X amount of times and track it that way, aim to consume 3 liters or more of water per day. Start at 3 if you're not there yet, work your way up from there. Your nutrition, as I always say, you need to track your nutrition. Now, it is Sunday today, and on Sundays I actually meal prep, plan out the next 2 weeks worth of meals so that I can stay on point with my nutrition at all times, because this is going to maximize how you feel, how you perform, the chances of you sticking to all of the other things that we're talking about in this video, especially those activities, as it's very difficult to be motivated from home. Now, an awesome habit, probably the best one that I could ever recommend when it comes to mental health, is meditation. A lot of people think meditation is cheesy, it's corny, but trust me, until you've tried it, then you're not gonna actually know, and I don't think that you have the right to criticize it. Try an app like Headspace, do 10 minutes a day, and watch over just a few days, even a few weeks, months, how much less you become prone to stress, emotional intelligence increases, and you're just gonna feel better every single day. Last point here is to build and conquer. Just like if you know what you're doing in investing, you can take this time and catapult your finances, your business, and your financial status to insane heights. Similarly, if you leverage this time to apply the habits, the tactics that I've given you, just like it's happened in my life, I've propelled my life, my business, my goals, propelled myself 10 times closer to those goals in this time, and I continue to keep building off that momentum. Make sure that you stay consistent with the tactics that I've given you here. So you're waking up, you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough water, you're getting the right nutrition, the right workouts, you're writing your goals down so you can keep them top of mind every single day. With that, you build momentum. On top of that, another tactic I'll give you is do what's called a dopamine detox. Now, my next video, I will be covering exactly how I go about doing a dopamine detox, how you can do it, and why it's important to do it. So be looking out for that video. And then also, the last thing I'm going to tell you is that for myself personally, these times have changed the game. Business, health, finance, relationship with myself. And I hope that these tactics will help you do the same in your life as they have for me. So thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, because I'm dropping more videos like this. Let me know what you want to see and I'll bring it to you. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's conquer this quarantine. See you on the other side.